All right, let's talk about equality of matrices. This is one of the basic concepts of matrix that every student must understand because of the importance it plays when solving questions on matrices. Two matrices are said to be equal if the element of matrix A is equal to the element in matrix B. What I mean by that is every element, don't forget, in this case, we define matrix A as having two rows and two columns. This is row 1, column 1. This is row 1, column 1. This is row 1, column 2. For you to decide that a matrix A is equals to a matrix B, it must be that row 1, column 1 of matrix A is equals to row 1, column 1 of matrix B. And the same goes for every other element. So row 2, column 2 must also be equals to row 2, column 2. Anything apart from that, you will not call that matrix, those two matrices, to be equal. So let's investigate the matrix we have right here. If you look at row 1, column 1 of matrix A, we have the element 2 there. If you look at row 1, column 1 of matrix B, we have the element 2 there. So that gives us a good place to start. If you look at row 1, column 2, which is of element A, which is with an element of 1. This is row 1, column 2. And investigate that of row 1, column 2 of matrix B. You would see that there is a difference because 1 and minus 1 are not the same thing. So that is already indicative that these two matrices, no matter what happens in any other element, cannot be defined as being equal. So you can see here that row 2, column 1 is 0 here, row 2, column 1 is 0 here. Even though row 2, column 1 is the same thing as row 2, column 1 here, and row 2, column 2 is the same thing as row 2, column 2 here, the fact that you've already had row 1, column 2 as not being equal, therefore, we would say A is not equals to B. Now, looking at what we have right here, we can see two matrices, matrix A and matrix B. If you look at the order of this matrix, you can see matrix A has an order of 3 by 2, while matrix B has an order 2 by 2. By looking at their order, you don't have to do much of investigation here. One of the criteria for two matrices to be equal is that they must have the same order and then the same element. So this matrix A, they don't have the same order, so we can't even at any point in time define these matrices as being equal. So therefore, A is not equals to B. All right, let's take a look at the following matrix we have right in front of us. We can see matrix A and we can see matrix B. And the first criteria for you to define a matrix as being equal is that they must have the same dimension. That means the same order. So right here we have a 2 by 2 matrix, and right here we have a 2 by 2 matrix. So that's the very first criteria which has been fulfilled. Then we go on to investigate the elements of these two matrices. Are they the same? Now we can see that row 1, column 1 is minus 1 here, is minus 1 here. Row 1, column 2 is 2 here, it's 2 here. Row 2 column 1 is 0 here. Row 2 column 1 is 0 here. Row 2 column 2 is 4 here. Row 2 column 2 is 4 here. Therefore, we can define these two matrices as being equal. Now, there are many uses of equality of matrices, which I want us to talk about very quickly. So we use matrices, equality of matrices, to solve questions like what we have right in front of us. We're given a matrix A and we're given a matrix B. Now we are told to find the value of X given that matrix A equals to B. Now that we've been told that matrix A equals to B, we are very assured that every element in matrix A will be the same thing as the element in matrix B. So therefore, we can conclude that if these two matrices are equal, then this element in row 1 column 1 must be the same thing as the element in row 1 column 1 of the other matrix. So we can conclude that 2x minus 1 must be equals to 5 since these two matrices are equal. The same thing goes for this column row 2 column 2 where we have 2x. If these two matrices are equal, then 2x must be equals to 6. That means row 2 column 2 must be the same thing as row 2 column 2 in the other matrix. If you go on solving this with basic algebra, you will get what we have right here, and our x will be 6 over 2, which is 3. Now, this means that the value of x must be equals to 3. And the other side, which we have 2x being equals to 6, will give us our confirmation. Because x right here is 6 over 2 and x equals to 3. So therefore, you see, we have been able to find the value of x with the concept of equality of matrices. So we can go on to identify our x as 3. All right, I would love you to make an attempt to this question. You have the matrix A given as what you can see right in front of you, and the matrix B given also as what you can see right in front of you. Then you were told that the matrix A is equals to the matrix B. Then you have to find the value for x. So I want you to give me your answer in the comment section below. What is the value for x in the question you have right in front of you? All right, guys, thank you for joining. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.